Hello everyone, it's me, LBT Electric Dino 75 once again, and welcome back to another video and another tier list ranking. And you guys have all been waiting for this for a very long time, and I was originally going to start doing tier list rankings in January all the way up to March and April, so why not stop there? But hey, it's worth a shot. And for those who are sending me requests to do this tier list ranking, especially for those who haven't seen, I would like to give a big thank you to each of one of you for supporting me and giving me requests. It really means a lot, and I do appreciate what you do here.
Their odds just improved. Unbelievable!
Today's tier list ranking is going to be on one of my favorite superhero franchise, known as the Power Rangers. From Mighty Morphin all the way to Dino Fury. And not to mention, they decided to add some movie bonuses as part of the franchise, which I could totally understand that, and some few specials along the way. So as for this ranking, is going to be on absolute favorite, great but not my favorites, flawed but good, okay, meh, the absolute least favorites, which means those ones could be terrible, and haven't seen,
and so on and so forth.
Before I start this ranking, I just want to give a shout out to a few friends of mine who are a big fan of Power Rangers and the franchise as a whole. Like, I want to give a shout out to Austin. I want to give a shout out to Dragon Critic, which he's been talking about the Power Ranger franchise more than I do. And if you want to check out more of his analysis on the Power Ranger franchise, go to his channel, even if he hasn't seen the rest of the seasons. And I just want to give a big shout out to Shamer Wallace, aka the Power Ranger fan. He is a great friend of mine, and I do remember subscribing to his channel, and not to mention we had this big chat on our lives with the live stream, and not to mention I was there, and we had a fun time. So if you want to go to Shamer's channel, I'll put a link so you can go subscribe to his channel, and put a link down below. So anyways, so with all that said, let the ranking commence.
I vote we go for it! Yeah.
First season that we got is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which that is a good start of the franchise, which I'm gonna put the one that started its own legacy. I'm gonna put in absolute favorites. Yeah, the one that started it all, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yep, that is what it is. Yep.
And it's a good way to start. In Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, it's a really classic one, and not to mention there's the second season, known as the one with the Green Ranger, which that is really good. And the fact that the Green Ranger was born here was really amazing, so there. I'm going to put in absolute favorites, both the first season and the second season. I also heard that the second season was a lot darker than the first one, and some characters have character development in themselves, which I really liked. And the fact that the Green Ranger turns evil and ends up being good. Somewhat really dark and gritty and all that stuff. Yikes, I mean, the show could be that dark. Next, we got the third season of Mighty Morphin, which is the final one long before the new ones have arrived, so honestly, I think I'm going to put the third season in okay.
What?
You heard right. I may not be a fan of the third season of Mighty Morphin, but I'd rather take the other two, because in the meantime, the other two seasons were a lot better. I know they wanted to recast new Rangers to save the world and all that stuff, which is understandable, but it just felt different from the rest of them. That's why I prefer other Ranger franchises more than the third season of Mighty Morphin, which I could totally understand that. And third of all, next we got Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. I've never seen this one, so I'm going to put that aside. Power Rangers Zeo. I know this has Jason David Frank as the Red Ranger. I've never seen Zeo, never heard of it. There, I haven't seen. Power Rangers Turbo. Oh, yeah. I've not seen this one, so Power Rangers in Space. Yeah. I've never seen this one either. I have never seen and heard of it, so sorry. And as for Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, yeah, I think I'm going to be in the minority for this, but I really did not like Lost Galaxy nearly as much. I really did not like it nearly as much. It's good that the characters are likable, but other than that, some of the parts could feel off and all that stuff. It felt like something different from the others, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get some hate for this, but I think I'm going to put it on, yeah, absolute least favorites. It's not terrible, but some parts could be really dark and gritty and all that stuff, which I'll admit that kind of scared me, which I never cared about it nearly as much. I never did, and we got Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. I'm going to put Lightspeed Rescue in flawed but good. It does have its problems though, but I still think it's a well-made looking Power Ranger series. Again, not as good as the original Mighty Morphin, but there's a lot of good things going here, so. But as for Lost Galaxy, I think I might give it another chance. Other than that, I just find it very underwhelming, especially in the final battle, which... Next, we got Power Rangers Time Force. I do remember seeing some of the episodes of Time Force, which I thought they were good and well-paced. And I can understand why a lot of people said that this is one of the best Power Ranger series. And it does have its problems, though. And some of the episodes could be really off, and I don't know which part I should put with Time Force. Yeah, I'll admit that the Quantum Rex and the Q-Rex Zord looks kind of nice, but I'm just going to put it right there. Flawed but good. It's kind of overrated, no offense, but I do think that the series does a lot more than that. So, flawed but good. But hey, it does have problems though, but it's not my favorites. And then we get Power Rangers Wall Force. The first one to put is great, but not my favorites. Wall Force is really nostalgic, and I absolutely like it for what it is. It's basically Lion King and Tarzan, but with Power Rangers. And I do admit that the Forever Red episode is kind of amazing and a really good special, especially with all these Red Rangers teaming up together to fight off these mutant orgs and all that stuff. At least that was kind of nice, and possibly the best things that is ever done. Next, we got Power Rangers Ninja Storm. Ninja Storm. I absolutely love Ninja Storm. And I'm sorry to say this, I'm going to put it in... there. I'm going to put it in absolute favorites. Sorry to say this, but that's the era that I grew up with the Power Rangers. The Disney era. Not the original Saban era, nor the Neil Saban, which I do appreciate. But the Disney era is where the Power Ranger era is where I started falling in love with the franchise. And speaking of series that I grew up on, Dino Thunder is my absolute favorites. No wonder why I end up falling in love with Power Rangers is because of Dino Thunder. And Dino Thunder is one of my favorite Power Ranger series of all time. And no wonder why Power Rangers in general is one of my favorite superheroes of all time, thanks to Dino Thunder. And I'm sorry to say this, but I'm going to put it in absolute favorites. Yeah. The absolute favorites is Dino Thunder. And I think it's better than the original Mighty Morphin. I'm serious. And I'm surprised that Dragon Critic actually liked Dino Thunder. Both Dragon Critic and Shamer Wallace. which I don't blame them.
I cannot go on enough about how much I love this series. It does have its flaws, there is a few issues, but other than that, this series is fantastic. Power Rangers Dino Thunder will forever be the best Power Rangers ever.
And I actually agree with them that Dino Thunder is one of the best Power Ranger series of all time. Besides, it takes itself very seriously and it knows what it's going on, and good storytelling, very likable characters, nice story arcs, and good character development. And the Dinozords look really amazing, which I really wanted to get them, and hopefully I can get them someday in the near future. But other than that, Dino Thunder is an absolute favorite of mine, and it's without a doubt the best things that has ever happened to the franchise. Since I consider Dinosaur to be one of my favorite Disney movies of all time, Dino Thunder here is one of the best Power Ranger series I've ever seen in my entire life. So for that, you get absolute favorites. Next we got Power Rangers SBD, and yeah, I'm gonna put SBD in flawed but good. Yeah, it does have its problems though. Jack as the Red Ranger is very unlikable, and his acting pretty much sucks for me. Yeah, the actor who played Jack as the Red Ranger did a good job portraying the character, but the character itself, he's such a terrible leader. No wonder why Sky was complaining about being the Red Ranger, which I can totally understand that, and I have to agree with him, so I decided to put SBD in flawed but good, next to the other two, like Time Force and Lightspeed. Next, we got Mystic Force. Power Rangers Mystic Force.
Ha! I guess it works after all. Nick, that was awesome. Mystic Force? Mystic Force!
Yeah, I'm going to put Mystic Force in absolute favorites. Yeah, it does have its problems, though, like some of the characters and all that, but overall, the absolute favorite goes to Mystic Force. Next to Ninja Storm and Dino Thunder. And I'll admit that the theme song is kind of nice. Sorry if I got to mention about the theme song with both Mystic Force and Dino Thunder, which they have cool theme songs. Even with Time Force, SBD, and all the other Power Rangers series, they have cool theme songs, don't get me wrong. The more I watch Mystic Force, the more I'm getting used to it. And I can understand what they're going for with this. Next we got Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. I know there's going to be some people that are going to be shocked about this, but I surprisingly like Operation Overdrive. I don't know why a lot of people don't like it. It does have its problems though, and it's not perfect by any means, but I still think it's a decent looking series, and not gonna lie, I still think it's really decent. There are some problems though, like some characters arguing and something that is not necessarily.
Sweeping the floor isn't exactly up there with being a Power Ranger, but I still want to be involved in the mission somehow.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, but what good's being a Power Ranger if you don't have any power?
Was that really necessary?
I think I'm gonna put Operation Overdrive great, but not my favorites. But I'm sorry to say this, but I think I enjoy this a lot more than Power Rangers SBD. And that crossover with Once a Ranger is kind of nice. It's great seeing the Rangers back. And next, we got Power Rangers Jungle Fury. I'm going to put Jungle Fury in absolute favorites. Yeah, it's not as great as Ninja Storm and Dino Thunder, but for what it is, I think it's a good series on its own, and it's kind of on point with both Ninja Storm and Dino Thunder, and even with Mystic Force. But as for Jungle Fury, it's a good series on its own, and I can definitely understand why. But I really wish for a crossover with Operation Overdrive and Jungle Fury, not to mention with Mystic Force and SBD, which we would have gotten those crossovers. But at least the Japanese versions do pull it off. Very, very good.
Hey.
You had us worried. Well, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Next, we got Power Rangers RPM. I haven't seen this one in quite a while now, but I do see some of the episodes, but yeah, flawed but good. I haven't seen most of the episodes of RPM, but I do see some of the episodes, and I think they're kind of good. But overall, I don't think RPM is a favorite of mine. just for a step up. Yeah, just for once, but I think I might give this another chance if it truly deserves it. So, we got Power Rangers Samurai. Power Rangers Samurai, you get great, but not my favorites. And I'll admit that it's not that perfect, but on rewatch, it's very nostalgic, and it does bring back a lot of memories after all this. I do have problems with Power Rangers Samurai, like some of the characters and the villains and all that, but overall, I think it's well made and does deserve to be very underrated. Not as good as, like, Dino Thunder and all that, but it's still very nostalgic. Then we get Power Rangers Super Samurai. Yeah, Super Samurai is... I think I'm going to put it on... meh. Yeah. Super Samurai is meh, but I think it's a step down from the previous series like Power Rangers Samurai, but obviously I really do not care about this one whatsoever, so yep, Power Rangers Megaforce. Now that's a good one. I'm going to put Power Rangers Megaforce there. Great, but not my favorites. It does have problems though, but yeah, the characters do a really good job, and the villains do look intimidating at the most parts, and all those other characters, yeah, they look kind of nice throughout the show. So Power Rangers Megaforce, you get great, but not my favorites. And as for Super Megaforce, now that is a cult classic.
Now that's a super mega win. Yeah.
I think I'm going to put it right there. The absolute favorites on Super Megaforce. And I do enjoy this more than the first season of Megaforce. So, absolute favorites goes for Super Megaforce, and great goes for Megaforce entirely.
Now that was legendary, and we have some new friends to thank for it. Come on.
But I do admit that the final battle could have been a lot longer, and it's nice seeing the original cast come back for the final battle, but overall, the final battle is kind of alright, but it should have been like a few minutes longer and all that stuff. But as for the series entirely, I think it's very, very good. I think the Japanese version, Pirate Sentai, is a lot better, in my opinion. But overall, I think I pick absolute favorites goes for Super Megaforce. And then we get Power Rangers Dino Charge.
It's about to get wild.
I'm gonna put it on absolute favorites. Dinosaur themed Power Rangers. Yeah. Sorry, Super Megaforce, but I have to put you aside along with Dino Charge. But hey, you're still a good series on your own, but I think Dino Charge is the better one for me. And then we get Power Rangers Dino Supercharge. Yep. Another absolute favorite. Just the same as Dino Charge, but a lot more darker and more emotional in my opinion. So, absolute favorites goes for Power Rangers Dino Supercharge. And next we got Power Rangers Ninja Steel. I'm gonna put it in, yeah. I'm gonna put Ninja Steel in great, but not my favorites. Yeah, it's good that they brought the Rangers here. Their suits look amazing, and yep, we're halfway there. And as for another list, oh man, Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel.
It's so boring.
Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel is absolutely the worst of the worst. The worst Power Rangers series I've ever seen in my entire life. Even back around in 2018, I still did not care about what was going on in Super Ninja Steel. I mean, it just felt bland and boring, and some parts are completely out of place. So I'm going to put it in absolute least favorites.
Look at you. You who were once so proud. Go now and never return.
Because that series was garbage. Absolute garbage. I did not like it. Next is Power Rangers Beast Morphers. I think I'm going to put it right there in the okay one. Yeah, Beast Morphers is alright. But I still enjoyed it more than the third season of Mighty Morphin. I think it's better than Super Ninja Steel, especially for that crossover one. I mean, what a big step up.
Just improved.
Yeah, what a huge step up with that crossover. But hey, it's worth a shot. Power Rangers Dino Fury is coming up next. I'm gonna put Dino Fury in right there. Absolute favorites. Yeah, it does have its problems though, and it's good seeing the Power Rangers come back in Dino form, but it's still worth it. But I haven't seen all the episodes of Dino Fury, and I heard that they do a lot of callbacks to the original Power Ranger series, as well as the previous series in the franchise, but overall, I still think the series does deserve credit for what it was. And then we get to the Power Rangers movies. The movies of the Power Rangers. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie.
Shoot it down!
There. I'm gonna put it in flawed but good. Yeah, the CG, oh my lord. The CG does not even hold up. And, oh man. I did not care about the CGI in that movie. It looks clumsy and fits well with the PS1 video game console, but the suits look amazing and there's some character development and all that stuff, but I still think it's a well-made looking Power Rangers movie. Not as good as the Japanese Power Rangers movies like the Super Sentai, but overall, I still think it's flawed but really good. As for Turbo, the Power Rangers movie, yeah, I've seen it once, never cared about this one, never cared about it, so I'm going to put it in meh, right there, next to Power Rangers Super Samurai. And then we get Clash of the Red Rangers, which, yeah, that is a really nostalgic one. Flawed but good. It's great that they brought back the RPM Red Ranger, but just for one bit, and the crossover would have been so much better if most of the RPM Rangers joined along with the Samurai Rangers, which Samurai and RPM would have gathered along with each other and do crossover to take down monsters and all that stuff, but it's still a good one here. So finally, the last two on the list would have to be both 2017 Power Rangers movie and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always. So I'll start with 2017 Power Rangers movie. I'm gonna put it in flawed but good. Yeah, I'll admit that the Zords, they look really awful, and the movie felt way too long and all that stuff, and but is it my absolute favorites? Not really, but I still think it's a decent watch. Flawed but good for 2017 Power Rangers movie. I might review it someday, but I'm going to put it in flawed but good. It's good seeing the new cast, and last but not least, is Power Rangers Once and Always.
Rangers forever, defending together!
Man, that was a huge step up from the 2017 Power Rangers movie. I think I'm going to put it, yeah, on the absolute favorites. There. Does it have problems? Yes. Was the special great? Not really, but it could have done a lot more. But overall, I think it's good to bring back the original Mighty Morphin characters as well as the new ones all together. So, yeah. And there you have it. And that's my tier list ranking of the Power Ranger franchise, from movies, TV, and all those other stuff, and from favorites, great but not my favorites, flawed but good, okay, meh, absolute least favorites, and haven't seen. And I really hope you guys enjoy this tier list ranking of the Power Ranger franchise, and please sure to like and subscribe, and more videos will come in the near future as well as other things, and not to mention that Disney tier list ranking will be on the way. So LBT here, see you guys later.